Operator, we don't have much time to talk. We've lost contact with the Terminarch strike team. The helicopter was shot down. One agent survived. Your job is to guide them out.
The mission must be completed. Secure Burn 9 at all costs. That information is well above your pay grade.
Get to work.
Operator, are you there? I'm dead if I can't find some way to get out of the open. I need you to direct me. Gonna just smash it. I'm sick of looking around. Awaiting your order. Should I engage? Enemy neutralized. Let me know if there are any surprises. Okay, not great. Stay with me, please.
Nothing is more important than Burn 9.
What's really going on here?
The mission takes priority.
Operator, tell me the truth.
Keep control of the agent. They're an asset, nothing more.
You're my only way out of here.
Operator, give me an update. Where is the asset?
Burn 9. Coming in 2026.
Dodo, can you hear me? Dodo, come in! Dodo!
Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever Story Rich Showcase. I'm Spencer from Fellow Traveler, and I'll be your host today. We just saw the debut trailer for Burn 9, a spy thriller from the team at 14 Hours Productions. But that's not all we have in store for you. No. The team has been hard at work over the past few months, reaching out to developers from all over the world. We love and publish narrative games, and wanted to build a showcase where story games could really shine. Over the next hour, we'll have brand new games to show you. We'll have some updates from some of your recent favorites. We'll have some news from teams you may not have heard from in a little while. And what showcase would be complete without some world premiere reveals? Now, let's start the show.
All right, Grandma, here we are.
Don't open the door! It's that prick, Ellen.
Hey, Jessatron! How's my favourite niece?
You're already dreaming about all the useless things you want to buy with her inheritance. You can't wait for her to die. Mum, why is there a strange man in my room?
We're having apple crumble.
Apple crumble is not a birthday cake!
Daniel is an altar boy serving a mysterious church. One night, a demon quietly takes hold of him. When his grandfather suddenly falls deathly ill, Daniel discovers something strange. Every time he performs a good deed, the old man heals. Sounds like a miracle, right? Except, for every act of kindness, a portal to the underworld tears open. Catechesis is a psychological horror RPG where you explore unsettling environments, meet characters you'll care about, and face demons head-on with twin-stick combat, or slip past them with stealth. Puzzles, minigames, and new abilities await. Inspired by Deadly Premonition, RPG Maker classics such as Mad Father, and anime like Evangelion and Jujutsu Kaisen, featuring an original score by Garrod, composer of Valhalla and Yuppie Psycho. If you're ready to descend into the mysteries of this new religion, the Catechesis demo is available now.
Welcome to Rusty Lake, a place unlike any other. Its most prosperous house belongs to the Vanderbooms, a peculiar family who hire servants to clean their mess. You've Aldous, the trustworthy. He seeks wisdom while upholding family tradition. Alexandra, the bright, full of ruthless ambition, the holder of the family lineage. And William, the powerful, gentle to the staff when he's not in a blind drunken rage. Once a year, they gather to feast and reminisce. While beneath the surface, tensions take root. To the next unfortunate servant, choose carefully who you trust.
Hi, my name is Danny O'Dwyer and I run NoClip, the crowd-funded video game documentary channel on YouTube, and NoClip 2, our other channel where we attempt to discover and highlight great underground and indie games. Now look, I'm preaching to the choir here, but you may know that narrative in games is very important. A lot of the games that I played as a kid, I played because of how they looked or what their gameplay was, but I probably didn't realize that I was playing a lot of them because of the stories and the places in which they took place. But what I found interesting is over the past 10 years how indie developers have really taken up the mantle of great storytelling in games. When I think about some of the games that we've enjoyed the most on NoClip 2 over the past couple of years, it's games like 1,000 Times Resist, The Seance of Blake Manor, Queen's Domain, and even the recently released Wax Heads. Games with wonderful gameplay, but ultimately games where the player is pushed forward because of that narrative. The next game up today is from a studio that's no stranger to making great narrative games, having previously worked on Tangle Tower and Crow Country. So let's check out The Mermaid Mask by SFB Games.
I came to the submarine to meet him, not murder him.
Magnus Mortuga was a man of great will and great strength, and there his body lay, his blood pooling beneath him.
The next morning, Miss Seafoam has taken over as captain.
We just came in here to question you, since you're one of the suspects.
But I heard you!
Yeah, no, that doesn't get you off the hook, I'm afraid.
What?
You'd like a succinct yet exhaustive rundown of our operational philosophy?
It seems our collective fate hangs on the outcome of your investigation.
So Mortuga was alone in a locked room.
Quite the story, isn't it?
Sure, that's why I got myself trapped in the murderous submarine.
This was on the floor of the crime scene. Do you know what it is?
I couldn't say with any academic certainty.
Surely some solemn secret, dark and dreadful.
Murder and mutiny, cauldrons and curses.
Any further questions?
Yeah, several.
Kia ora tātou, Tale here from Oregon Digital. We're here in Naarm, Melbourne. You may know us from our first game, Umarangi Generation. Well, we're thrilled today to show you off the story of our next game, Penguin Colony, which is an adaptation of At the Mountains of Madness and A Shadow Out of Time. This story takes place after Lovecraft died, and we asked the question, who his protagonist would have been? Maybe you already know. Look, to make Lovecraft horror work, you've got to do new, because what is new but the unknown? And the fear of the unknown is the strongest of mankind's oldest emotions. This could be someone's first dip into Lovecraft. So let's start things off slow. No Cthulhu, no Dagon. People have a tendency to overdo it. Well, I've been sitting here yapping for long enough. Why don't we watch the trailer?
Blackley, did you know the Aryan people once built great civilizations? Thousands of years ago, they ruled the entirety of the world.
As a man of the sciences, what sits before me is the discovery of a lifetime, a being unlike any. Can you imagine the wealth our world would inherit if only a slither of what it knew was given to us?
Ia, e memeha haere ana, ka mārama kua whakangao, ētahi I te urupā huna.
What you see before you is the greatest discovery mankind will ever make. Deep within the city, we shall make contact with him. We shall meet our father race, the architects of mankind.
Hi, I'm Mad Morph. I'm a creator, and one of the things that I do is find good games and share them with you. There's a very special reveal coming up, but first, here are 3 games that I would recommend that are included in the story-rich mega bundle that is out right now on Steam. This is a charming and creepy adventure puzzle game by Rusty Lake. You are on a train, but every time you pull into a new station, you've moved through the timeline of a character's life. It's called Underground Blossom. In Yuppie Psycho, it's your first day of working for a big corporation, but at orientation, you find out it's part of your job to hunt a witch. It's an unforgettable story set in a dystopian 90s society. And in this game, you're inside your house after an alien invasion, told to keep your doors locked and to stay inside. But then there is a knock at the door. You have to decide who is human and who is not, and more importantly, who you let inside. It's called No, I'm Not a Human. All 3 of these games and more are included in the story-rich mega bundle on Steam. And now, one of my favourite story games is Beacon Pines, so come with me and let's go and see what that team is doing next.
What's going on? What is this place? And Ivy, what happened to me? This place doesn't look like a hospital.
Hey, can you hear me?
Who are you? I don't feel good. I think I'm falling asleep.
Trisha, don't ever touch my car. Do you even realize what you've done?
The government found something they thought was a weapon. But I was right. It is a god. And then she woke up.
I'm Maddie Myers.
And I'm Zoe Hanna.
We're the co-founders and co-owners of Mothership, a reader-supported website with gaming coverage for her, for them, and yes, even for him.
At Mothership, we cover games through the lens of identity. Stepping into the shoes of another person or thing, inhabiting a body other than your own, is always part of the gaming experience. Story-forward titles like the ones in this showcase are very much our thing.
Coming up next is a murder mystery adventure game called Duppy Detective Tasha that's rooted in Caribbean folklore.
Our heroine must find both the murder culprit and her lost cell phone. That last bit is something I bet we can all relate to. Let's take a look.
Growing up, Granny would tell me and my cousin them all kind of old stories. About rolling calf, old hig, river mama, the bagger antics of Sly Mongoose and Brother Anansi. Tell you the truth, I used to think they were just that, tall tales. But no, it looked like story come to bum, and I am in the middle of one. What to believe, who to trust, or what even is happening, I couldn't tell you. One thing I can tell you for certain though, my name is Tasha Ann Palmer, and I will sort it out. Them no know who me, don't know who frightened.
My name is Riker. I'm based in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'm making Detective Turner, If Looks Could Kill. If Looks Could Kill is a murder mystery, and I wanted to basically create a bit of a symbiosis of like this ensemble cast of Knives Out set in the world of The Devil Wears Prada. So you play as this character, Detective Turner, who is this quirky investigator who hates computers and just wants to do everything analog. They take Polaroids of everything and write everything down in their little notebook so that you don't have to. What's a little controversial or different about this game, I think, is that the world is being narrated to you as text written over the floors or the walls or the evidence or the body. And the more you look into it, the more you basically read between the lines and find even deeper meaning and more clues.
Tell them to wishlist the game.
Wishlist on Steam.
If you like what you've seen today, make sure you stop by Steam and wishlist some of your favorite upcoming games. You may have heard about it before, but wishlisting is super important for indie games and is a great way to show some love to the developers who are working hard to make sure we always have something great to play. Everything you've seen in today's showcase can be found over on the Story Rich Showcase page on Steam for your easy wishlisting convenience. Okay, let's get back to the show.
Hi, we're James, Jess and Thomas from Saltstone Studios, and we're really excited to show you our new adventure management title, The Hearth and Harbour.
You are Kit Purcell. You've left your home for a fresh start on a new shore, a place that boasts beautiful landmarks, rich culture and plenty of entertainment. But the food, well, the food could use some improvement. And as fate would have it, you've invested your last coppers in a rundown restaurant. With Cyril, your trusty new cook by your side, settle into routine.
Every day, you'll need to build your menu, head to the markets, catch up with the vendors, and buy ingredients. Then it's time for service. As customers arrive, they'll need to be greeted, seated, and looked after. Kit will take their order and Cyril will prepare their meals while you balance the needs of your guests against the stress of your staff. In the evening, the city is yours to explore. Invite new customers, progress friendships, and decompress from the long day. And then you do it all again. Good ingredients, good service, and good meals will build your favor with the people of Luthport. You'll need to make rent each month, but favor is as important as coin. Favor is a resource that can be spent to cut deals with vendors or solve problems for the townsfolk. Earning trust will grant you recipes and gifts from friends. These improvements will allow you to create more expensive dishes and to make your restaurant more comfortable for customers, building even more favor and discovering new stories.
As the winds change and war threatens your new home, these relationships will be your lifeline. Tensions will brew and resources will become scarce. But if you've been kind, your community will support you when push comes to shove. This new life is a chance to decide what kind of person you are. What will you do when you're backed into a corner? Will you protect others or prioritize your own survival?
The best way to support us is to wishlist The Hearth and Harbour on Steam and let us know what you're curious about seeing next. Sláinte!
In Grave Seasons, we have a variety of different NPCs, and everyone has their own specific role in town. All these NPCs have their own schedules. They move pretty much autonomously throughout the town of Ashen Ridge. Sometimes events will interrupt that schedule, like murder, for example. You can see that the town doesn't necessarily revolve around your interactions with these NPCs too.
It makes you care about everything more.
Like ahora mismo el micrófono está prendido, pero se supone que estuviera todo muteado en todo el otro stream anterior. De vuelta al stream.
Characters and people in Ashbridge to feel like people, and that means that not all the meaningful relationships you have to be romantic.
In limiting our pool of romance options a little bit, I find that we've been able to get a lot more rich story detail, all of the romanceable characters.
It is no secret that you can romance the killer. that could be an experience you're trying to opt into, is where it could get more dangerous or morally complex.
Because of the fact that when you begin again, a different character from our campaign pool will be selected, you can still romance that same character when they are not the killer, and you will see a different side of them. Aside from being a farming sim, Grave Seasons is also a horror game. We really do value that sense of loss as a part of the genre, and we don't necessarily want to shy away from the idea that if you don't engage with the horror aspects of this game, you might lose out in some of your relationships.
If you're talking to someone and you're like, wow, I hope you're not next, there's an added element, I think, in order to make sure that hits emotionally.
A hidden component between horror and sort of cozy is the murder mystery. Even in a game that's sort of as broad as Grave Seasons is, we are thinking of all these mechanics as also vehicles for story, making sure that these storylines are well designed and propulsive, and not just creating content for content's sake. It was really important to us as we were sort of crafting the overall narrative of Grave Seasons.
Hey, long time no see. I hope you're enjoying the show. The Story Rich Showcase Steam page features all of the games from today's showcase. You might even be watching this there right now. You can also buy, play, or wishlist everything you've seen today. There's also demos for some of the games that we just announced. If that's not enough, there's also the Story Rich Mega Bundle, which features 10 of the best narrative games in recent memory. Okay, let's get back to the announcements.
I know we don't get called into places where they expect a lot of survivors. And I can't accept that. Not after what I've seen. I'm here now. I'm not leaving this time. We can do this. We can actually save somebody. Oh my God. That's her. Reconnecting calls. Final report of Dalia Volkova.
Hi, I'm Juan Pablo from Recurring Dream, and I'm here to talk to you about our game, Desktop Explorer. In this game, you'll have to navigate through your uncle's old computer and find out what happened to the person he was looking for and how a program called Desktop Explorer was messing with his head. Everything is computer-centric, so be ready to solve puzzles using computer features you never thought could be used as puzzle mechanics. However, this old computer has more to it than just text files. We haven't talked about this in detail in previous announcements, but Desktop Explorer can change quite a bit in its approach to torment its different users. For example, since the computer's youngest user was addicted to a virtual chat room, well, you'll have to read conversations from years ago and understand what made her play along with Desktop Explorer. Combine all of your skills to reach the truth of it all. Remember, nothing is off the table. We'd love to share more, but we want to leave plenty of secrets for you to find when you play the full game, so please leave us a wishlist on Steam. In an age where people are taking counsel and pseudo-therapy from computers, we are taking a look back. and telling a story of what happens when we try and solve human problems with the coldness of technology. Will you outsmart the computer? Will you solve the mystery? Will you become a desktop explorer? Thank you so much! We really hope you enjoy the game when it comes out on July 17th. And right now, you can check the demo on Steam. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Storyrich Showcase is brought to you by the team at Fellow Traveler. We're an indie publishing label that focuses on narrative games, and you may have played some of our past hits like Citizen Sleeper, 1000 Times Resist, or the recently released Titanium Court. We've had a few games in the showcase so far, like Burn 9 and Penguin Colony, but we have even more to show off. Let's check it out.
How's it going? My name is Edmund Tran, and I'm the managing editor of a little website called This Week in Video Games. This Week in Video Games is a completely independent, reader-funded website covering games and the games industry. Thanks to our supporters, we're completely commercial-free, which allows us to focus on the stuff that actually matters instead of appeasing algorithms. Things like curating stuff that's actually important, as well as working on in-depth reporting, long-form writing and developer interviews, and making sure we respect your time as well as our own. We absolutely love narrative games because we know they have the capacity to tell highly evocative and effective stories, and that the full potential of the medium and its methods have yet to be completely realized. Each year, we discover new narrative games that hit us in surprising new ways, which is why we were so keen to get involved in this showcase. And since we're based in Australia, we know firsthand just how many amazing independent video games are being made down here, so we're very pleased to be able to introduce these next titles, which have been on our radar for quite some time, and are now on yours.
Oh, you've got no idea what you're caught up in, do you, Pet? When you signed the lease to that house of hers, you didn't just attract Janet's attention. You put you and your mate smack bang in the middle of a cosmic battle between good and evil, the likes of which you couldn't possibly understand. Really? Nah, she's just a bitch.
Hey, Dave here from Powerhoof. Last year we put out a pulp adventure thriller called The Drifter, and yeah, now I want to tell you about my 90s inspired point and click fantasy adventure epic called The Telwinium. Join friends Pendar, Tanny and Wit as they flee the Shadowfell, along with a two-headed rogue, the axe-wielding uplander Otar, and an army of skeletons. It's your first night away from Willow's Dean, and you have first watch. The Telwinium started as a kind of nostalgia project for me, like sort of evoking the books and games that I've been in love with since the 80s. The art style's in glorious 16-color EGA with like a 4:3 aspect ratio and stuff. Yeah, so like really like Sierra games that I grew up playing. And the soundtrack by Brandon Bloom, it's like straight from that era. It even sort of plays on the hardware that was used back in the day. The story's all the fun, tropey fantasy stuff that I grew up reading too, with the twists and turns that you'd expect from the writer of The Drifter. It throws you right into the action. Imagine it's the first night Bilbo leaves the Shire and Gandalf just had his throat slit. That's the setup. Then yeah, throw in a magic system, multiple player characters, an army of skeletons at your control, and you've got the Telwinium. Gameplay is a kind of a mix of old and new. There's no getting soft locked if you miss an item, or like crazy moon logic puzzles. And yeah, it's point and click. There's no like typing in, look around. But like those early games, looking around is a big important part. Yeah, so there's like a dedicated look cursor. I sort of love how immersive some of those old games feel, despite their simplicity, just because you're really in the world, reading descriptions as you look around the room to get hints at what to look into more. So yeah, book one of the Telwinium, Winter's Dawn, is available as a demo on Steam right now. I've put out early versions of the first 3 books already, and yeah, once the 4th is complete, there'll be a sort of finished story, and I'll package them all up together here on Steam. And yeah, I really hope you'll have as much fun playing them as I've had making them, because it's been a blast.
Two of my team are walking wounded. The other is about to lose her mind. And now, a sacred monstrosity is in our way. It took a lot to make me go back to the Thousand Hells. But she could pay it, and more. I just had to bring her murdered sons out. I needed to assemble the right team. I just hoped I could bring everyone back this time. We got past some very insistent guardian demons, but not without our first scars. was glad I'd recruited a singer when we met shades who demanded funeral songs. It was that, or be torn apart. So here we are, just worn down husks. But maybe we can still nick what we need from under the monster's snout. Well, at least most of us survived for our appointment with Queen Death.
Hi, Gareth Damian Martin here, creator of In Other Waters and the Citizen Sleeper series. I hope you're enjoying the Story-Rich Showcase so far. I'm dropping in for just a little announcement. I'm happy to reveal that Citizen Sleeper 1 and 2 will be releasing on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 25th. If you already own either game, you'll be able to upgrade to the Switch 2 edition for free on that day too. But that's not all. On June 7th, that's tomorrow, I'll be in the PC Gaming Show to reveal my brand new game in a world premiere. The show starts at 8 PM BST, 12 PM PDT, so don't miss it. I'll see you there.
And that does it for the first ever Story Rich Showcase. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being a part of the show. If you still want more narrative games, make sure to check out the Story Rich Showcase page on Steam, where you can buy or wishlist everything you've seen today. You can also check out the Story Rich Mega Bundle, and you can even play demos for some of today's games. If that's still not enough for you, make sure to mark your calendars for Ludonarracon, our annual narrative game festival that'll be returning to Steam from October 8th to 12th. Of course, none of this would have been possible without a ton of work from across the team, without support from our partners who helped us bring this show to you, and of course, the developers who trusted us with their announcements. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next year.
This is just a test. This is just a test of the psychocognitive warning system built into your consciousness. This song, it's just a test. Please disregard it. In the event of an emergency, like the dissolution of reality, this message would be followed by a rush of psychic energy. So long as you feel nothing, nothing is happening. Just relax. Kick back. But to everybody still on the line, we're about to have ourselves a real rough time. Try your best not to look up or to look down, or to the left or the right, but especially not behind you. And pay no attention. Please pay no attention to the moon that's getting closer and the thing behind the curtain. All of this, it's on the list of known side effects. You know, for what's happening. Now as a formality, as a minor formality, the Metamind Defense Grid needs to borrow your reality. Just think of it a little bit like paying taxes, or like giving spirit energy to Goku or something. Welcome to the Metamind Defense Grid, the first and only defense against psychic threats to humanity. As a vertex in the Metamind Defense Grid, you will be contributing your latent psychic capabilities towards the collective goal of repelling an imminent threat. Any questions? Question 1. What is this threat that you speak of? Answer. Unfortunately, the threat cannot be perceived by mental entities of less than 5 dimensions, which includes you and me. As such, I cannot even perceive the threat, let alone begin to describe it. Question 2. How long is all of this going to take anyways? Answer. While no one can say for certain, if we are very lucky, all of this will be over before your material bodies need food or water. Question 3. Hey, I didn't consent to any of this. Answer. That's not a question. Question 4. Is there at least time to say goodbye to my loved ones first? Answer. No, because the operation will commence the moment you're done with this FAQ.